There's the cold backyard garden. I bet you didn't know this. I am a motorcycle enthusiast. I am also a gardening enthusiast. I may create a playlist with some gardening content and see if anybody likes it. Right now, I'm in my dining room and I am planning out next summer's garden. We are going to talk about what we need to know, and what tools we need while we're inside pre-planning the summer garden of 2024. Here is how I do it. I've got seeds that I won't be using, seeds that I will be using. On the back of the packets, sometimes the front, it will give you dates or times when to sow. They'll tell you when to sow indoors and or outdoors depending on the plant, and you just have to figure out when your last frost date is. You can Google search your area and find out when yours is. I went to almanac.com for the Bloomington area, and I found out that my last frost date's going to be April 22nd. For you guys up north, it'll probably be a couple of weeks later, but this will give you a little bit of an idea on timing of things. I also have my desk calendar, and I go to my last frost date, week 0, and then I count backwards beside each week until I get to where I need to be. A lot of stuff will be 8 to 10 weeks or 6 to 8 weeks inside, starting to grow, and that's a lot of work. You'll need pots of some kind. I do not like the little bitty ones, the little bitty tiny ones. My plants outgrow too quick. I like to typically start with a intermediate size, about that big, maybe a 6 or 8 inch pot if you have room for it. My bedroom turns into a jungle before I get everything transplanted outside, and it's a lot of watering. My water stinks like the fertilizer I use, so my room stinks. Let's see, need some grow lights. You will need something to put under the pots, because sometimes this water will soak through, and a lot of patience. You might want some heat mats. A lot of times I will come home and run a heater and a fan in my room, get it nice and warm, and I'll let that run until it's time to go to bed. And I will also have to rotate my lights to so all the plants, once they emerge, will be getting enough light. So I also highly recommend an almanac. In the almanac, there's a section called Planting by the Moon's Phase. You find your area, and it will give you best dates to plant by the moon. It doesn't always fall exactly right on the timing when you're starting inside, but what can it hurt? Another book I recommend is this one. Especially if you're trying to maximize your growing season, that is an excellent book. I pretty well read it cover to cover last January, because it's January and I can't be outside riding or digging in the garden or anything like that. I use these gravy mix containers to hold my seeds. stack them in there by type and grouping. Like this year I'm going to try and plant Three Sisters, sweet corn, pole beans, and butternut squash. They'll be going in probably the week before Mother's Day, so they're at the back there. I group my peppers together. There's always an oddball, something I'm going to try. I'm going to try this eggplant this year. And then back to the topic at hand. I go through my almanac and I list everything I'm planning on growing. I look at the seed packet and decide when I need to plant it, and I just write down beside each plant when I'm either going to start it inside, or these two peppers I'm going to try to container grow them. And then I go to my calendar, and on the date this says February 25th, I will write on my calendar plant peppers. That way when I flip my desk calendar, it's a reminder. Maybe you'll set a reminder on your phone, or however you want to do it. And then when that day gets there, I see it's coming up. I get my pots and plants and bits that I'm going to need, get them together, usually here in the dining room, and plant my seeds. I also keep a garden notebook with a drawing of what my garden hopes to look like. I've done this for several years, but I managed to lose some of them. This was last year's garden. This is the proposed garden for spring of 24. That is an awful lot of talking about gardening. That's how I do it. If you don't garden, I would encourage you to try something. Grow something. I'm going to have flowers, wildflowers. We have a swing in the backyard in the garden there where we can sit, hang out, and it takes up most of the backyard. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of work, but there's something nice about eating something that you grew. I hope you found this video informative. I hope that it'll maybe help somebody, and thanks for watching. Remember to like it if you like it, leave me a comment, gardening ideas, and subscribe. If I have good feedback for this, I may start a gardening playlist to go along with my wrenching and riding and other bits I do. Anyhow, catch you later.